Welcome back, Game Closet crew. On the top shelf today, we'll be looking at a game that has eluded me for a long time, and then I simply forgot about it. Until a good friend of the channel reminded me that it existed. The amazing and fantastic Gamer Ahmer shared her guilty pleasure game, Fighting Force 64, in a fun collaboration video several of us did a few months back about YouTuber guilty pleasure games. At that moment, that game went back into my wish list, and then I found it at CNC Games in Fremont, Ohio. And thanks, Kevin, for his great copy too. It's just beautiful, clean, like the day it was made. So let's dive headfirst into Gamer Ahmer's favorite guilty pleasure game and my new acquisition, Fighting Force 64. Here we go. Style. Fighting Force 64 is one of two N64 games that have eluded me, and I finally snatched this one up. Star Soldier Vanishing Earth is the other, but that's a story for another video. Fighting Force 64, made in 1999, is a 3D beat-em-up port of the original game that was released for the PlayStation and PC in 1997. 1999, huh? Haha, feels like yesterday, except with way less Furbies and slap bracelets. Here's the rundown of the game. A supervillain named Dr. Dex Zhang predicts the world will end in 2000.
I predict that the world will end at the stroke of midnight on New Year's Eve.
Seems he was wrong. When the apocalypse doesn't happen, Zhang decides, what the hell, I'll destroy the world myself. So you play as one of four heroes. Hawk Manson, a master of hand-to-hand combat with a knack for improvisation. He's got more moves than a disco ball at a roller rink, but maybe not as much muscle. Mace Daniels, a skilled martial artist with a mysterious past. Mace has the moves of a jaguar and the emotional range of a brick wall. But hey, just like Microsoft Windows, she gets the job done. Eventually. Ben Smasher Jackson, a powerhouse with incredible strength and a love for big guns. Now, who doesn't like big guns? He solves problems with fists and firepower, mostly firepower. Now, don't worry about subtlety, just point him at the bad guys like a German Shepherd and watch him tear their nuts off. And Alana McKendrick, a cunning tactician with a knack for acrobatics and weaponry. Alana McKendrick's got the brains of a rocket scientist and the fighting skills of a rocket scientist, who also knows karate. Now, don't underestimate her, but maybe a reminder that sometimes simple is better. You and your choice of badass hero must stop Zhang from destroying the world. Too bad they aren't real people stopping the real evil in the world. But I digress. You brawl your way through 7 levels fighting thugs,
rustlers,
hooligans,
cutthroats, murderers,
soldiers,
bounty hunters,
strongmen, jarheads,
train robbers, bank robbers, ass kickers,
snipers, mercenaries,
and Methodists!
A whole cornucopia of bad guys. You can use your fists and feet or pick up weapons like pipes, guns, and even knives. I love finding an axe and using it to chop a dude right in the face. Classic. The game also lets you interact with the environment, like throwing enemies into vending machines or using benches as weapons. Fighting Force 64 has no shortage of goons either. I like that word, goon. They seem to just come out of the woodwork, falling out of the sky, filing out of elevators, randomly running in from closed doors and offices. It can almost get overwhelming at times, but that's what pause buttons were made for, right? In some levels, keep your eyes peeled because there may be hidden weapons stashed behind crates, tucked in corners, and even inside destructible objects. Didn't that emergency fire hose housing look like it was begging to be smashed? Goon. Another fun facet of the game is that some characters can exploit different abilities, like Smasher is the only playable character that can smash a car then use its engine as a weapon. Well, I do that every day. Fighting Force 64 seems to have it all for a pre-2000 game with 4 heroes to fight with, endless waves of thugs, boss fights, a versus mode where you can fight a friend, and even 2 different endings depending upon your performance. That's right. The good ending is the standard ending you'll get by completing the game and defeating Dr. Zhang. Don't worry, I won't spoil what the endings are. I'm not a monster after all. The bad ending is achieved by performing poorly throughout the game. This could mean things like taking on too much damage, failing objectives, or not rescuing hostages. Fighting Force 64 isn't the typical N64 game and is definitely worth the $20 to $40 you would pay to find it loose for your N64 collection. If I hadn't been reminded of Fighting Force 64's existence by Gamer Ahmer, I may not have ever put it back on my list, so I would like to thank her for jogging my memory.
You're welcome, Scott.
Well, you never know what's going to happen here in the game closet. We'll see you very soon. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like Game Closet's videos, hit that like button real quick. Please consider subscribing and sticking around for more videos. There's a ton of fun and funny stuff here for you, so click one of the boxes on screen and I'd be happy to show you more in Dr. Scott's Game Closet.